Hello, writers. Good morning. I hope you're having a great morning and that I'm getting an excellent report. And if at this point I'm not going to get an excellent report, you better fix your behavior because that's what we're going to want is a good report. So today, kindergartners, I'm very excited for you and for the work that you're going to be doing in your writing piece. So if you think back to yesterday I gave you your editing checklist. You took your editing checklist and you went through your favorite piece. Now, Mrs. Dvorak, they all have one piece of writing that is their most favorite piece, and that is the one that they chose to edit and publish. And they are located on the back writing table, kind of right behind where you're sitting, and they're all in their golden folders. So they went through this checklist, kindergartners, nod your head if you remember. Right. We went through this checklist and we checked our writing and we said, hey, does this piece have, can I read it? Do I have my sounds, spaces, periods, all that kind of stuff? Then, kindergartners, some of you got time yesterday to start going back and making your piece fancy and adding those details. We talked about how adding details doesn't mean just coloring. It means going back and thinking, what more do I need to add to my piece that's going to make it better to look at and easier for my reader to follow directions? So if you think back to the piece that you helped me work with on the end of my teeth brushing, where we went in there and I found a page that I didn't have any warnings or tips or suggestions, and you guys helped me add a couple in there. That's what I'm talking about making your piece better, adding more detail, making it fancy. Evan, say it. Ooh la la, all right? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about adding those details, making your piece fancy. Now, that also can include adding labels. It can also include taking your picture, and if your drawings are still those quick 30-second sketches, I would say that go ahead and add some more. Because think about it. Does a face show someone how to brush their teeth, or do they need to have a toothbrush and the toothbrush in the mouth and the person brushing in the bathroom? I think so. So today, kindergartners, first, your job is to make sure that your editing checklist got all checked in. So if you had something that you needed to work on, make sure you do that. Also, if for some reason your piece, there are pages that don't have words, that needs to be a priority. Tomorrow is your celebration. So first, this editing checklist, make sure that you are able to check all your boxes. This will go back into your golden folder with your piece. Next, you are going to go in and add those details. Are there pages where you can add more to the picture? Are there pages where you can add more labels? Are there pages where, you don't have a warning or a tip or a trick? Let's add that in there. Maybe you don't have an introduction for this book. Maybe you don't have a conclusion where you say, now you know how to walk your dog. I hope you enjoy your day with your dog or your walk with your dog. Do you have a title? Those are the kinds of things that you can add today. Now, if you go through and your story absolutely has all of those things that you truly believe that it should have, then kindergartners, you can add a touch of color. I want you to remember that we talked about adding a touch of color. There's a difference. Adding a touch of color does not mean going in and filling the whole thing with crayon. It means if I'm on the page that talks about peanut butter, what color is peanut butter? It's brown. So I'm going to take my brown crayon and I'm going to color in that piece of bread where I said that that's where you smear the peanut butter on. I'm going to color that brown. What color is jelly? For me, it's always grape jelly. So I'm going to get my purple and I'm going to color on that page. And then on the page where my sandwich is together and I have that diagram where I can see, I'm going to color that stripe of the purple for the jelly and the stripe of the brown. So think about adding the color only where it's going to make your story better, not where it's going to take away. Do not take your favorite blue crayon and color the whole thing. Remember that bad day? That was a bad day. So your job today, kindergartners, is to make your pieces fancy. Make them shine. Make them look like the type of book that I could buy in a bookstore. At the end of writing today, Mrs. Dvorak will have you put them back into your golden folders and you will be all set for our celebration tomorrow. Happy writing, kindergartners. Remember, quiet volume shows that you're working during work time and is a great way to earn points. All right, I'll see See you tomorrow. Happy writing.